Good afternoon. Thought I'd do another video. I've not done one for a while. I'm just tidying up my workshop. I made this quite a while ago now. There's some pictures that I'm going to put up after I've been machining this. I didn't take any videos at the time. Basically, it's a clock marking out jig for crossing out clock wheels. I've just got some that have failed over a time there that I'm not happy with, but these are just out of the parts bin. But basically the idea is it gives you a quick way of crossing out. Should be fairly obvious, but I'll just point out how you use it. Basically you turn this up, the actual grooves are irrelevant, they're just to help you align the holes, but ultimately you've got holes along this circle, along this circumference. And each of these different circles as you go out has got different counts on them, so you can divide your wheel by different spokes depending on how many you want to mark it out with. You turn up, and I just make these as I go along. I've got another little tub full, to be honest. You make up different little pins. The centres, basically the centres, which I've just got one of there, and then there's pins. The centre, as it sounds, pushes fully into there. I'm not going to push that one fully in just because this one's a bit tight, but basically that pushes right down into the centre. Each one is bespoke made, so this outside diameter here fits the centre of your wheel. You blue up your wheel, and then you slide that on the centre, and I use some double-sided tape as well and stick it down just so it doesn't move, because you don't want it to twist. Although it just depends, if you get a good fit on that centre, then normally they're pretty rigid anyway. So basically that goes on the centre, it can't move, it's locked down. You take your pins and you obviously put one in one side, and you push one in the opposite side, and then you can place your ruler across between the two pins. Bear in mind the centre's sticking up and it shouldn't be really, so you push your ruler between the two pins, and then you can mark out your sides for your spokes, then take it to the other side and you can mark out the other side for your spokes, and you can then keep moving basically the position of the pins to give you the correct number of spokes you want. One final thing that I would say, that should be fairly self-explanatory. One nice thing actually is on high-end clocks, or on most clocks really, certainly if they're taking pride in what they're doing, the spokes are actually slightly tapered, and again you can use this using the pins, with different sizes. This is you'd probably get too steep a taper in this example that I'm going to use, but you can see here there's a very, very small one, and again if you push that all the way down and only marked out half the wheel, so lay it across from the small end here to the large end here and just marked off this side of the wheel, and then obviously the opposite side of the wheel, because you're angled slightly, obviously I'm exaggerating it, because you're angling it like that, then you're going to end up getting tapered spokes. You'd then swap the pins around to do the other side, so you do literally one spoke each time doing this method. But it's a really nice way and a quick way of getting tapered spokes, which is actually something that's quite tricky. They're tricky enough to mark out anyway, spokes, but certainly tapered ones, nice way and quick way of getting some tapered spokes on your marked out clock wheels. Hope that was useful. I'm just going to play a couple of pictures now of me making this. There's only a few, but it's fairly simple to turn up. If you've got